You're listening to From a Certain Point Askew, the only Star Wars podcast to quickly realize that this recap of the Bad Batch might be more for the hosts than it is for the listeners. I am Jason the Ginger Jedi Guy, broadcasting from inside Wookiee Poo Studios, and for once, thank God I'm not alone. With me is, if you were to mix Savage and Asajj Ventress and they had a baby, that would be my neighbor Cole. He is here. He is back with all of the sexy. Hello, sir.
I thought I was going to get introduced third. I was waiting to come in. I was all relaxed back there, sprawled out.
Oh, okay.
But
well, he with some crafty. Oh, look at him looking at me. With some crafty editing, he could have just got.
Nope. Not on my watch,
He's
sir.
even not talking until he's brought in. Look at him playing the old school game.
I feel like that would betray your true second micer now. I mean, I feel like I've been regulated to third.
Want me to do it over?
Yeah, you should probably start over.
Okay. And with me on the mic, because I'm not alone, but we're going to ignore who I'm with. Shut up, person in the studio. Darth Matthews.
How's it going? It's good to have you back, Cole. It's I know it's not permanent, but I hope that we can get you on with some form of regularity as we go forward, because we miss having you here with us.
With less homework.
Yeah. No, I really do. I love having these conversations with you guys, and I know this is the first one we've had all day long, but just going to pretend we didn't have an interview earlier. No, it's great. I miss you guys. I miss being out here and bullshit and talking Star Wars, and I really do miss spending my entire Sunday recapping the Bad Batch, which I've already seen.
Okay.
Going back and watching it all over again. No, it's been a long time, and I'd like to get back here a little bit more.
Was there any moment while watching any of the episodes of Andor where you're like, oh, that'd be good to go, because you felt you had something to say or add, or you wanted to talk about it?
Yeah, I would have liked to. I tried to email into the show once or twice, and I've composed a few, started a few like little running lists, but never sent them.
You never sent anything, Cole Laybourne. Okay.
You just got a bunch of draft mails. Awesome.
I know. I got a would you like to continue? Every time I sign into my Gmail. And I know you guys think that I'm this Cole Laybourne character.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to the bottom of that, because
I do too. Because I was listening to the episode. I'm like, what are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
They're accusing me of this. Is like a fucking mystery email or something.
It's an email. Somebody set up an email. Somebody set up an email address that is colelaybourne@gmail or whatever, and they'd send in 2 or 3 emails.
Yeah.
So first we thought it was you, especially because they have like kind of some of your vernacular down, like the way you talk about stuff, and the way, just things that you would pick out. So then I thought, well, then it's got to be Mike Laybourne. He's saying it's not him. I don't know who the hell it is.
The mystery continues. Mama the Soich continues, because I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what it is, guys.
Someday we'll find out. Someday. Let's wait on that.
It could be anyone.
It could be.
I do listen to you guys whenever you're not in the car, because I know it's. I don't like to listen to myself. I don't think you like to listen to yourself. But I like to listen to the episodes and hear. I've noticed that Kristen Meyer has been emailing in quite regularly, right? She started to.
There was a string of them because she was trying to win the Lego saber for the hubby. Okay. But then did she quit listening, or did she just quit right now?
I'm not sure if she's kept listening or not, but she was definitely doing it, I think, throughout Andor, because she was watching Andor, so she wanted to get our thoughts on it and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. She's probably going to check out for the Bad Batch. I can tell you that right now.
Such a shame.
Well, speaking of listening to the show, you can find our show from acertainpointaskew.com. Find us on Twitter at FACPApod. Email us, facpapod@gmail.com, and we are part of the Podawans Podcast Network at Podawans on Twitter. Real quick note about our giveaway that we did for last season for Andor. Semper Fi Danny got in touch with the show, was excited to win the Lego Saber hilt, so congrats to Danny. I will try to get that off to you this week, because Mike did get it to me in the mail. And then we also heard from Depressed Kenobi and Kristen Meyer, who both won T-shirts, which I hope we have. You said you have some?
We have.
Oh, okay.
We have them, yes.
Good. So we need I think we need a small and a medium, so let me know. We'll talk off show about that.
Okay.
And figure out
I'd like to take 5 minutes dedication to bitch at Disney for shutting down your guys' show. Or show. Store. Fucking pricks.
Yeah. I know.
Going after the little guy.
Cease and desist. Yeah. We got to get a new logo.
Really need to get a new logo.
You guys? You guys have made it. You made it. You got fucking Disney breathing down. You guys are the Aaron Brockovich of podcasts.
There we go. All right, I love it. Oh boy.
Buy local, everyone. Buy local.
Buy local. We have a new giveaway coming, and we'll share those details once we get to the Bad Batch stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of what's going to happen on the show, let me give you a little rundown here. No Aaron Brockovich on the show, but we do have a question of the week. Omega who? Omega what? We got some news, just some things in there. Triple X. Bad Batch Season 1 review.
Triple X.
Yeah, because he just got X's in there. You didn't put what the
You don't see the updated version?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, I'm on my copy list. That's why. My bad.
Okay.
Let me go over.
Yeah. There will be some Triple X,
okay.
though. There will be some Triple X.
Yeah. There always is with Cole here.
Well, I'm here. Yeah, that's right.
The news, Rogue Squadron back on, and the Acolyte in production. More talk on that. We got the Bad Batch Season 1 review and Season 2 preview with the one and only Darth Flamingus. If you listen long enough, you know he's our pink-robed fourth guest micer, I guess we'll call him.
Yeah. That works.
And he's going to call in, chime in, and give us, I'm sure he's watched all of the episodes again.
Cool.
So, I mean, if
meticulous
you could say anything
in his
about
preparation.
Dave, yeah, he comes prepared. Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction that he's going to be sober and that he's going to be 100% fucking ready to go.
Nailed it. And then we'll wrap up. We've got 3 emails in the Maul Bag. All right, so who wants to go with the question of the week?
Oh, yeah, so I'll share what we did. This was, I think, a week and a half ago or so now, but this was the question. We're 30 days away from Season 2 of the Dad Batch, at the time we were. What else will we learn about Omega? We know she's a genetic copy of Jango Fett, but what other secrets have yet to be revealed? And since we're gonna get into this a little bit in our preview, we don't need to answer, but I will share, unless you have a hot answer you want to share right now, but I was going to share the answers we got sent in to us.
She's got a nub of a tail.
You know what? I got a little something. I think I'll make a prediction at the end of this here.
Okay.
All
right.
She's wearing a wig.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first answer was from, Mike Laybourne. He said she can fly, not just ships, but like Superman, even in space.
So like Leia.
So yeah, is she Space Angel Leia or is she Superman? Like, which one are we going for there? I don't know. The next one is from, I always forget what his name is. STEM R42. What's his name?
Oh, it's Josh. It's Ua.
So Ua says, genetic copy is very generous, or she'd be a stormtrooper. At a minimum, XX does not equal XY. So I think we just got well actually on that question there.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Oscar.
Modified genetic copy. Modified genetic copy, maybe. But then the question is, if she's really force sensitive, who was the source of that, or did they create the changes? What do you think of that?
Well, isn't the idea that you're kind of just born? So is my idea is if they clone enough of them, someone's gonna like naturally be enhanced with midichlorians, right?
Sure.
It's a natural thing, but which they're trying to replicate by cloning. But I think it's a numbers game, right? If they just keep producing them, someone's gonna become force sensitive.
Maybe they just make
keep churning.
They make her drink midichlorians.
They make her drink them.
They stir them into her drink in the morning. They're like, "These are your electrolytes for the day, Omega." Okay.
Just most of them don't take. Most people just piss them right out. But some
it's like ketones. They just flow right through your fucking body. Yeah.
Brian Hour chimes in. Omega, being opposite of Boba, will use the catchphrase, "They're only good to me alive." She will start getting her armor this year and will be stylized from scout armor with a wrist bow. Is she supposed to be the opposite of Boba?
She's like, I get, if you want to say
the
opposite,
female
she's
version.
A girl, he's a boy.
That's about it.
Yeah,
but
like,
otherwise they're the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the idea of a wrist bow.
Yeah.
A slingshot wrist bow.
Okay.
Who had that?
Well,
Ezra.
Ezra had the like slingshot thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, Mike Laybourne again. We are going to hear a lot from Mike today.
Oh boy.
She has force.
For you, Cole.
She has force empathy, and there'll be a 2-episode arc where she meets Grievous, grows 2 more arms, develops a smoker's cough, and starts wearing a cape.
What do you think Grievous was smoking to get the smoker's cough? You think you're unfiltered Marlboros? Is he more of a cigar or a pipe type guy?
Unfiltered, unfiltered like Luckies, like three
Camels.
3 packs a day. Yeah, just hammering that shit. The emphysema.
He's got the emphysema. Emphysema.
Now, if she does that, is she going to she can start killing Jedi as well, like Grievous does, like collecting those trophies, or is she going to kill clones? And instead of collecting lightsabers, she's collecting their dicks.
Okay, that's that coming.
She's gonna cut out their taints and she's gonna wear them like a fucking like one of those Vietnam guys that go crazy in the jungle,
like a string of ears.
Can you imagine George Lucas just turning the show on one day and just like, I wonder what they've done with my stuff.
She's gonna come roll.
Like, what is this?
It's gonna roll in like Dolph Lundgren from fucking Universal Soldier.
Yeah,
clone taints all over her fucking chest.
Oh man.
This one here was from Cody.
She has to smell them and she knows who it belongs to.
Oh my God.
It really brings it. She uses them for like the smelling salt before she hits her power lift.
So now she's working on her. She got to get the strong thighs.
John Cena's gonna play her.
Okay, there we go.
Coming up.
Coming out.
So if we've got a teen coming up, she's growing her hair out, and probably because as the dad batch, like, why can't you be pretty? So she's growing her hair out. Already they're raising good good father skills they've got. But no, like, do you think she's gonna be as moody as like the they portray a little bit of like with Anakin and with Kylo Ren, is she gonna get some of that?
This is a very eloquent way of putting that. They're all
yeah.
Well, I feel like with Disney being Disney, wasn't there a big controversy over the red panda thing with the period? Maybe we'll get to see Omega have her first fucking menstrual cycle.
Well, I don't think the controversy was from
I know people were losing
mothers, I believe, not
were losing
Disney
their
themselves.
fucking minds over it, right? Because they were talking about a female's cycle.
Oh no, it's happened since the beginning of time.
I know.
How'd they reanimate something about it?
But hopefully Disney will throw that in there, right in our faces.
Right. Like there's a special episode where her and a wrecker are stuck in the ship by themselves.
Yeah.
And she starts bleeding. I don't know what to do.
He starts pulling cotton out of his armor. Here you go. From his undershirt.
He's like, I'll have to punch it to stop it. Or I'm thinking the reason she doesn't have armor yet is because she's going to come across some type of Mandalorian armor, or maybe she learns, or she knows who Jango Fett is, right? So maybe instead of collecting the taint, she's just like, I'm going to pull my father's head out of this helmet, and she's going to start wearing it.
Oh, I like that. God, could you imagine how disgusting that would be by then, having to pull that thing out? Oh,
yeah, I got to probably rinse it once or twice.
I think you're going to want to, maybe get the bleach out.
Yeah.
Have to find out where Mace Windu was holding up and go to his fucking house and get it off the wall.
Yeah.
He's probably got that thing mounted.
Next to his hand. Next to his own hand.
Next to his own hand.
Maybe like rinse it in the lava waters of Mustafar.
Maybe those are in the For Luke box.
Oh.
Okay.
We haven't talked about the For Luke box lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go into the house, take a left. It's the one that says "bad motherfucker" on it. It's right there on the wall.
Obi-Wan, why do you have this stuff in here? No reason.
Follow the stench.
Why do you have a pair of my mom's underpants in here, Obi-Wan? Don't worry about it.
It's like, you spent 6 years in isolation on Tatooine. Tell me you're not going to be a little fucked up.
Did you see there's a dumb Instagram post where they're showing a clip from Kenobi, and it's where Leia says, "I wish you were my dad," or she said, "Are you my father?" And he goes,
yes.
"No, I wish I was." And then it pans over to the guy sitting on the couch watching, and it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he goes, "I wish I was, because Padme was smoking hot." And then he goes, "So was your father last time I saw him." So dumb. Oh, boy. Okay. Should we go to the news?
Yeah, let's get serious with this show.
Yeah, let's lock it in.
That's good news.
Rogue Squadron. So a couple years ago, Patty Jenkins had that little promo video where she was talking about, how she's going to work on this movie that was inspired somewhat by her father and his service and all that kind of stuff. And
yes.
Then it was like, it was first supposed to be the next film in the queue. And then like by 2020, like end of next year. And then it kind of got tabled, and she was doing heavy work on Wonder Woman. I almost said World War III. Wonder Woman 3. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, now she's got time on her hands because Wonder Woman 3 has gone into the trash can. And so so it sounds like now this might be back on, and she's kind of like, I think they've like reworked the deal or whatever. But two things. One, somebody was saying, I can't remember who it was talking about how apparently the first treatment she provided to Lucasfilm, they were like, this is a fucking hot mess for Rogue Squadron. So they're clearly having to work on it to make it better. Two, when the hell would we even see this? I mean, the next movie isn't scheduled till 25, and that's probably the Lindelof one. So like, when is this even going to come out?
I have no idea, unless they redo their schedule or something, because they've got like 4 or 5 movies that are in some form of production now,
right? Which is
good. We're finally, getting some things moving along. But I mean, this one's a few years out. If she's coming back into this, she's got to rewrite it, So I don't know.
How did she get this many characters on Twitter? That's a big fucking post.
I think she did a like a notepad snap or whatever. Like it's an image.
Oh,
yes.
I thought she was sleeping with Elon Musk.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, he's going to give us.
Well, there was a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that he was. Yeah, 4,000, right?
That's so fucking many. That is so many. Please don't.
Yeah.
We want to hear more people's thoughts.
Basically, Twitter's turning into a blog spot.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's got their own blog
yeah.
now. Nobody's gonna read that shit. It's because trust me, when they went from 140 to 280 or whatever it is, I was like, actually, that was very needed because it was kind of hard to fit something into 140.
Right.
And even now, when we do our questions of the week, it's hard to fit it all in. But still, it's like, you need to prevent us from being too verbose. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see what she does with it. I like the era that we're working with there, but yeah, I just don't know when we're going to see this thing. The other bit was the Acolyte. So just a few notes there. They started filming, I think, about a month ago or something, month and a half ago. And they're supposed to be wrapping up in May. And there was a few bits of news. One was that Margarita Levieva, I think is how you say that name, joined the cast. For you Adventureland fans, that is Lisa P. So that should get you excited.
Oh, I loved Adventureland.
Remember Lisa P? She was like kind of the smoking hot gal that came back, and they're like, Lisa P's back. Lisa P's back.
Okay.
Remember that one?
But kind of. I don't remember what she looks like. I'll have to look her up.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's funny too because I saw the production notes on it later. They filmed that in Pittsburgh in like December, so they're all acting like it's summer, and it's fucking freezing cold out.
No shit. Yeah, because like when they're all out in the park, and doesn't Ryan Reynolds play like
he's kind of a creep.
He got a small role. Yeah, right, where he's like the kind of the older guy that works at the and he has him over to the house.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
and he's
years
married.
Since I've seen
he's
that, but
fucking
that's a fun
around
movie.
on his wife and stuff. Yeah. It's not.
Yep.
So she joined the cast, and then there's been all sorts of talk about like the filming of the series, and a lot of stuff has been filmed at Shinfield Studios, which is kind of near Reading, like west of London.
Mm-hmm.
But a ton of locations have been revealed for like all over southern Wales, and it sounds like from what all these sets are telling us is that maybe Leslie Headland's going a little bit more in the direction of like a Tony Gilroy approach, which is we're not going to rely so much on the volume. We're going to get out and shoot all this stuff actually out in the world, which I'm excited about because I think that really made a difference with Andor, that it looks so good was because so much of that stuff was practical.
Right. Well, you've seen some of the images of them in their costumes and stuff, right?
Yes. So yeah, that was the other thing is they showed
Daphne Keane and
Lee Jung Jai was in like a Jedi robes.
Yep.
Yeah, and they had I think that Daphne Keane. Yep, you're right, and Amanda Stenberg and Dean Charles Chapman. So they had all these shots. Then they also had a Wookiee.
A Wookiee, yeah.
You're right. Who looked like maybe he's a Jedi? I don't know.
Well, there's a Wookiee in the High Republic on some of the books, so I wonder if he's just older, if it's that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if that time's correctly or not.
Because they lived for quite a few years, right? So he might hanging out there.
They lived for a long fucking time.
Yeah. Oh.
And then sadly, no shots of Carrie-Anne Moss.
Nothing. Yeah.
Damn it. That was it for the news, unless you had anything else?
No, nothing.
Let's go talk to Darth Flamingus about the Bad Batch.
All right, let's ring him up.
Bring him on in.
Joining us to talk Bad Batch today is Darth Flamingus, a.k.a. Dave. Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Hey, boys. Good to see you again, especially the other fine gentleman in the room who's been absent for a bit.
Oh, who, me?
I just saw him live like 5 days ago, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, we were in person.
That's exciting.
It was interesting. It's good to see you, Dave. You're looking great. I love the Sabres frame in the window. That's a beautiful touch. We were talking about it earlier.
Do a 360 in my room. I actually put a bunch more Star Wars stuff up, so I got my signed comics in the background too.
All right. We're looking forward to giving those away on the show. Oh, sorry.
Just a tease.
We're looting Dave's room for all of our next giveaways.
What he doesn't know is I already stole the stuff for the show while I was there last week, so we're good to go. I can ship it out whenever they win it.
Smart.
Got to check this guy's suitcase.
So to get into the Bad Batch, so some of us, I won't say who, rewatched season 1 recently.
Yes.
Cram session, because of course it's the same thing as always. Wait to the last minute and start trying to fast forward through a bunch of shit. But I want to get everybody's thoughts, but a couple things. First off, I forgot how much of a fucking cunt Admiral Rampart is, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I forgot Admiral Rampart altogether. I went into this and there were several episodes. I was like, I don't remember one fucking bit of this episode.
Yeah,
He's definitely like the protege of Admiral Tarkin. For
yes.
Sure. Directly studied under him
the
for
son
a summer.
Tarkin never had.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
I studied under this motherfucker for a summer, molested me every day in his office, and now I'm taking down every clone that I see.
Oh, it is, yeah.
He's a fucking prick, man.
But also the other things that stood out, like the visuals. We think we talked about this, when we did the show originally. But the visuals are really fucking awesome. Like the shots on Braca when they're in that like shipyard, and like the aerial shots on Ryloth are just fucking gorgeous. And then the sound and the score was just so good. So I'm expecting more of that in season 2. I just couldn't believe how much was in episode 1. Like by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, holy fuck! Like so much shit happens in that first episode.
Yes.
Episode 1, it comes in hot for sure, and then the ending, the last 2 episodes,
very cinematic.
The fucking you're talking about the special effects and how beautiful it was. The destruction. Spoiler alert! If those of you who haven't seen it,
they should have stopped way longer.
Yeah,
ago.
the destruction of Camino was just like fucking man. Those what do they call them? The fucking they start with the V. The space cruisers that fly in.
The Venator,
Venerators, something like that. Well, the ships come in and fucking destroy the planet, and man, it's just very like.
Yeah, they were a little trigger happy.
And then the score during that part too. It's like, man, you're sitting there just all that real estate and property that's going to the bottom of the ocean. Just, I felt for it.
They wanted you to feel a little haunted for the ending of Camino for sure,
especially in this market with the way prices are and all that. Just ruined all that square footage.
Yeah, Yep.
Just,
I mean,
it's not.
You can't find a home
that's a
like
big
that
insurance
these days.
claim.
They just blow it up.
Yeah, that insurance claim is going to be pretty tough to prove.
Would you consider that the end of the Clone Wars? Like that symbolic gesture of just like the Empire nuking Camino?
Yeah, that's a good thought because they can no longer make any. So that's kind of the end of the run.
Yeah, because you see in the tunnel, right, as they're going out, Omega stops for a moment and she looks and there's all the little like incubated clones.
Right.
A la the Matrix,
the test tubes.
Yeah, they're just sitting there, and I'm kind of like, oh man, look at all those fucking idiots getting drowned.
No, I don't think there's anyone in them, right?
No, they're all cleared out. That was kind of the spooky part of that. I think it's the second to last episode. The penultimate episode of the season is when they show those shots of the whole place abandoned. They like show the cafeteria is empty and the tubes are empty and their room is empty. And then it's right before they just launch that attack.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I missed that part. I thought so. What'd they do with the clones that were in there? They just flush them down the toilet?
I don't think they'd been making any in a while.
Flush them down the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just went in there with coat hangers.
They just they dropped them into Sarlacc pits.
How dare you?
They were loads that should have been swallowed.
So why again did they get rid of the clones? It was because they were going to start recruiting local militia to build up the Empire's army to help suppress like local colonies, essentially.
That was my question too. They didn't.
I think it was cost and to start bringing in people from other planets.
Conscripts.
Yes.
There's that Operation War Mantle that is Tarkin's whole initiative, and that the whole driver behind that was that they would have troops that were more loyal and more motivated because they willingly joined, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they felt like they would be more engaged in like in for the cause. I think they were worried about the clones' loyalty.
Well, and they even talk about the guys that work under Crosshairs when they're brought in there. Where they get a room and food, and so they're all into it. They're in support of it because they're being taken care of.
Right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. They have that whole scene.
Yeah.
But like to go back really quickly to the first episode, you get the Order 66 stuff. You see a young Kanan, and for me, I always love when they show different perspectives of Order 66. Like you got it a bit in Kenobi, so I really like that. But it certainly lays the groundwork for why Kanan is so skeptical of when they meet up with Rex and Gregor and Wolf and stuff and Rebels, because he's like, I've seen these people murder my fucking master, so no thanks. Mm-hmm. And then you get Palp's speech announcing the Galactic Empire. You get a lot of explanation about exactly like how they were made and like Omega's tie to them. And then you get Tarkin. That was all in the first 20 fucking minutes of the show. And so they're just hitting you over the head with this stuff.
And by the end of the episode, you get Saw Gerrera. He comes in. They assign him to kill those survivors. They go out there to that offshoot planet. I don't even remember the name of it, but you get a lot of action in episode 1, and it's 45 minutes, right?
No, it's an hour and something.
76 minutes or something like that. Yeah, it's long.
So I started watching this, I don't know, last week. I got through 4 episodes, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's going to be 10-episode season.
I thought the same thing.
And I look back, and I'm like, I got to last night, and I'm thinking, okay, we got to record Sunday, so I can just blow through 6 episodes. I look, I got 10 episodes or like 12 episodes to go. I'm like, fuck. So I'm up till midnight. I get up at like 9 o'clock this morning. Take notes, Dave. Get up at 9 o'clock this morning, and I blow through. I literally finished 15 minutes before I got down here. I was just watching.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
I'm doing getting out of the shower this morning, and I'm talking to Kyle, and I'm like, hey, I got to record it too. And we're going out. I go, Cole's going to come down here. It's going to be the last time he ever fucking records, because I basically forced him into this. And then last night, he's like, I still got 10 fucking episodes to record. And I said, I know Cole. He'll watch every fucking one of them because he has to do. I know. So I was like, he has to do it. He's going to be so pissed off that he spent his whole fucking day watching Star Wars when he didn't even have to podcast in the first place.
I didn't go to the gym. I was sitting there to myself thinking to myself, this is why I fucking have free time now. And this is what I don't miss these assholes at all.
You do too.
I do. I do miss you guys. I do miss the show.
Well, so Dave, when was, I mean, I don't want to, peek behind the curtain for everybody, but when was the last time you watched these episodes? Was it when it originally released last year?
Yeah, when it originally released last year, and then just before this, I watched just like a quick recap, just to like re-get it going through my head about like what happened. And I mean, a lot of stuff you kind of pick back up, but then you forget about, I forgot about Tarkin showing back up at the beginning and Saw Gerrera. I forget that they had Fennec Shand show up a bit later and stuff.
Cad Bane.
And Cad Bane.
Best episode.
I mean,
of the
there's
season
so many
right there.
Yeah. Well, he and Fennec fighting was definitely a high point. I mean, there's so many freaking things that happen. We see, you get a lot of backstory, I think, on exactly what's happening with the clones and why they turned. It's a lot of inhibitor chip talk.
Yes. And
they get into all of those aspects. And I think we even at different points, we're trying to figure out if certain people were affected or not. Because I think that's something that we're going to see. We'll get to that in a minute in the season 2. One of the season 2 trailers is they're talking about how some of the clones are, like, more and more clones are not following the order.
They're not,
So it makes you think how that chip is not necessarily going to last, the long haul, unless you soup it up like they do with Crosshairs.
Mm-hmm.
but the Cad Bane showing up thing was fucking fantastic. I thought that whole sequence was good. I think one of my favorite episodes was the one where they're on Darrow. I think it's like 12 or 13 where they meet Gregor.
Yep.
And because it felt like A New Hope, like it had all the visuals look like the Death Star. They brought in John Williams music. I loved that episode.
What is, before I forget, because you mentioned it earlier, the clones not following orders. It was the Rescue on Ryloth episode, I believe. Is it Hauser? Is that the clone?
Oh yeah, with the nice hair.
Yeah, Hauser with the fucking.
He's got Wall Street.
The sick flow. He's got a nice flow. He takes his fucking helmet off and lets it shake out. He was the one. That's the name of the clone, I believe, right? He's the one who's called for the little mini rebellion in the hangar. He calls for the other clones to lay down their weapons and no longer gonna continue fighting. So maybe that, like, there was echoes of that throughout the clone ranks, and that's why they're like, we can't fucking, these guys are uncontrollable. Mm-hmm. The inhibitor.
Yeah, he does the Jerry Maguire. He does the Who's Coming With Me bit. And that's when I think we talked about this when we covered this originally. How much does the Order 66 go? Like, how far does it go? Because it really was geared toward killing the Jedi and exterminating them. But how far does that extend? Because Hauser's not in a situation where he's doing anything with Jedi there. He's just loyal to these people that he's been working with for.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's necessarily covered by the programming of the inhibitor chip. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of baseline training. They've been trained and raised to be, clone soldiers and fighters their entire life, that it's very difficult for them to disobey orders, I would assume. And you can see him kind of like struggling to be.
That's a lot of Crosshairs. His plot, his motivation was, he can't turn that off. Yeah,
so he can't. They just can't turn it off. And then you could tell he's like got a moral dilemma. He's like, I gotta follow what I'm supposed to be doing orders wise, but then, I'm loyal to Cham Syndulla and his family as well. So it's just like, in the end, he kind of ends up disobeying orders and going against the Empire. But
Hauser.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, the other thing I forgot about was Lama Su's a real prick. The Prime Minister of Kamino.
Lama Su is the scientist, right?
No,
that's Nala Se.
No, the scientist is Nala Se.
Yeah.
Lama Su's the dick. Yeah, he's the asshole.
Lama Su's the dick. He's such an asshole. Well, he gets his in the end. I love that. I don't need a politician. Door closes.
Yeah. I was waiting to hear a blaster shot, but didn't hear one.
Yeah, they might have toyed with him for a while. I don't know, but because early on he's like
a little torture.
Jesus, man.
Exactly. Early on, I'm kind of salty today. Early on,
Crosshairs in the hallway with choking watching it and beating off. Choke him out, choke his neck, shove your blaster right in his ass.
Good soldier follows orders.
Yeah.
But no, early on, Lama Sue's like, yeah, we need to get Omega back so we can get her DNA, and then we can just kill her.
Yeah.
And Nala Se's like, what?
Yeah.
So you really feel for Nala Se because she kind of tries to help. She helps Omega escape, and then she sends Fennec Shand after her to protect him and or protect her. Excuse me from
Yeah, I forgot that whole arc. I'm like, what? Who the fuck is Fennec Shand? What is she doing out here?
Like, who's she working for?
Yeah, it's Nala Se who hires her.
That's right. I forgot all about that entire thing. And then that, like I said, that was the best. I think that was the best episode of the season. Cad Bane and Fennec Shand going back and forth fighting and trying to outwit each other. But she gets the best of him. She's the up and comer too. She's just making her.
Yeah.
She's making her chops, and he's like, "You don't got the experience to take me on." And she's like, "Oh, but wait."
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great episode. I think the last 2 episodes are the best though. Just like visually, and just for everything that led up to it, I thought it was like beautifully made.
Yeah, you get all the tension between, especially Crosshair and Hunter, but Crosshair and the whole crew, where he's like, essentially like, you abandoned me,
right?
We were homies, and you fucked me, and because they were like saying, well, why didn't you ever try to come join us? And he's like, well, you went off the words, like you switched allegiances. I mean, we were all on board in the same crew.
The argument was really like, the phone works both ways, man.
Right, exactly.
If any critique for the season 1, it's just at the end there was just a little too much of those two bitching at each other, just kind of being like little petulant bitches to one another, like just constantly
Hunter and
Crosshair constantly like bumping shoulders as they walk past each other.
Yeah, there was
giving
one,
each other mean looks, and everyone turn and look at Crosshair. He's always sitting there by himself, like
sneering
or bitching because like he's such a fucking pessimist. He's like, oh, we're taking orders from her. Like, she just saved everyone's life.
Yeah.
Like, now this is what happens when you let the kid be in charge. Like, shut the fuck up.
But the group kind of went through that at the beginning. There was someone questioned something about her, like in the 2nd or 3rd episode when she had brought up an idea. They're like, well, you're the young one or something. So like for him to do it was sort of on. It's just he was a bit more aggressive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Hunter stole Crosshair's girlfriend a long time ago, right?
Right.
Part of the arc.
They were roommates over together on
he
Camino.
stole Crosshair's girlfriend, Cross Eyes.
Oh no. So the other thing that comes up in that down the stretch, the last 2 episodes, is that Crosshair says, "I had my chip removed long ago," which we're all like, "Yeah, bullshit." And I didn't realize it till this time when I watched it. When he gets knocked out, Hunter turns his head over to like look to see if the thing was there, like the removal scar was there. But of course, his face had already been like lit up like Jay Leno. So
do you think?
Oh, timely.
Too soon?
Nice.
Too soon? Sorry.
Did I miss something? Is Jay Leno been in?
I don't know how he burned
Jay
himself.
Leno lit his face on fire.
Yeah.
Working on a car, probably.
Working on a car, yeah. But I mean, that's what Crosshair gets it from that engine, destruction. Just fucking torches him.
Could have gone way back and been like, hey, Michael Jackson during a Pepsi commercial.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't know that everybody get that reference.
Yeah, that's Crosshair used to have a beautiful head of hair before the ion engine lit his face on fire.
Crosshair had so much Jerry curl in that thing, it just went right
Soul
on.
glow.
Soul glow, yeah.
So does this mean he starts working out and becomes CrossFit?
Oh, but
Oh, I wanted to ask you real quick before we jump on. Do you think that was a lie? Do you think he was lying to them? Because he goes through the whole. They strengthen his inhibitor chip. Right. So he just basically tells them a lie right to their faces.
Or does he think it was taken out, but it was strengthened? Like maybe he was lied to.
Oh yeah, maybe they went Wolverine on him.
Yeah.
It's possible. I just think that they were doing everything they could to ramp that thing up. There's no way they took that out. I mean, he may have his own motivations because he's very much like, I'm a soldier and we do what we're supposed to do. But at the same time, I don't think he would be doing certain things unless he was influenced by the inhibitor chip. I certainly hope not. He had fucking women and children murdered, Saw's crew. So that doesn't speak well.
Yeah. And well, I mean, I guess if there was a point in the half season where maybe he did have it taken out, because when he starts explaining his motivations, like, we're dead to the Empire if we don't become something to the Empire. So like some of his reasoning for like, you guys should join me, but like I can see how it makes sense on his end, even though like it's not the right thing to do. but it's almost like we're going to be murdered and killed, cast away if we don't become something to them.
So I have a prediction in for season 2 if we're allowed to go that far ahead.
Hold your predictions.
Okay, I'm holding it.
Let's do our predictions later.
I'm on a holding pattern.
Write it down. He's got it. He's got it locked in. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover on just the Rafa and fucking Trace show up. Your guys' favorites from season 7 of the
forgot they were into it until this episode started, and I was like, oh yeah, yep.
I did too. Totally forgot about that.
But that's a pretty damn good episode. Oh, and I was going to bring that up. Like, for Crosshair not to have he's always good soldiers follow orders. But when Wrecker keeps hitting his head for like 4 episodes in a row, and that's the big dinger in that episode, right? When he has to jump the thing to hit the control panel to get and he starts saying that.
Yeah.
Like that's the inhibitor chip.
Yes, right. Yeah, and then he tries to kill Omega.
Yeah,
like an episode later.
It's only a matter of time before Wrecker goes Junior Seau with fucking all the head damage and the CTE he has.
It's true. It's not wrong.
He's gonna blaster himself. You're gonna find him blastered in the chest. Study my brain. He's gonna have a fucking sign above his head.
And the Ryloth stuff was cool too. Like I wanted to call that back. It's not just the Hauser thing, but seeing Hera as a younger gal. Like she's got that French accent. She hasn't shed the French accent yet.
It worked better for me to binge watch all of this, like to take it all in and, plot point to actually like follow everything quicker. Like it all kind of melded together better for me this time.
I think that one of the things that was maybe, I wouldn't say it tripped us up, but the thing that we struggled with a little bit in season 1 was just, it was a lot of Sid missions, a lot of side missions.
Yeah.
With Sid. And so because they hit you over the head with the first episode and they wrap it up so well with the last 2, and then there's a couple major episodes, in between, like with Ryloth and different things. Some of those side mission episodes were kind of like, okay, like that was fine. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of that. And when we get to the season 2 talk, there is going to be more of that, it seems like.
I wasn't a big fan of the 2 through 4 arc, like the episodes 2, 3, and 4.
Moochie? Oh no, Moochie was episode 5.
Moochie was one of my favorites. I like the Mooch.
You like Mooch?
The Moochster.
The Mooch.
2, 3, and 4 were kind of just slow. Like they go and they see Cut and Sue out on the clone in.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen them in the Clone Wars before, right?
We saw Cut LaQuain, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was a deserter.
Yeah.
And they just kind of got to get their way out of the spaceport without having their
the chain code.
Yeah, their tag, or show their vaccination papers before they leave the port. And then you get the episode where she's got to go find the power source from that little electric dragon thing.
Right.
When they're off. So there's some fun little things, and you get to see Omega coming into her own, and you get some Tarkin talk and some stuff about the conscripted soldiers versus the clones. So. That was okay. That was just kind of pedestrian for me, kind of just filler, kind of introducing characters more to each other, and you develop the dad batch where they're kind of protective.
That's what it was. It was
a
lot of character development stuff for those stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the episode you talked about with the Moon Dragon or whatever, but that's where we see Crosshair become the leader of the elite squad.
We get to hit Bib Fortuna too for a little bit. They keep him a big secret. Yep. So he was in the Moochie episode, right? On Ord Mantell.
Mm-hmm.
No, they went to, it was Ord Mantell because they're the other side of the planet.
Yep.
Yes.
Crosshair's squad forms the Death Troopers.
That's what we always thought. Yeah.
Because it kind of seems like when he changes his equipment and puts on the mask, it's like a precursor to what the Death Troopers could become.
Yep.
It certainly looks like them.
Now, who are the stormtroopers that we see more toward the last couple episodes, and especially when they take Nala? Was it Nala Say?
The TK class?
The ones that actually look like they can fucking take a hit and play some rounds.
I think that's the prequel to your regular stormtroopers you see in episode 4, because that was TK-421 was the trooper that Han takes his armor from. He's, why are you not at your post?
Yeah.
No, Luke took his armor.
That was a different type of armor. Because even so the one episode was like a standalone where they go and they have to rescue, who is it, Gregor?
Gregor,
right?
Off of Darso.
Yeah, and they end up climbing the mountain and they get in the shootout with everyone. The one, whether they're clone troopers or just regular stormtroopers, they can kind of take a blast, they go down right away. But the ones, they seem like there's one for every group of troopers. They seemed a little bit more indestructible. They could take a couple of blasts.
I thought we talked about this with you, Dave. No, do you know who those troopers are? I thought you were aware of those. Maybe no.
The base conscript troopers.
The big kind of boss.
The ARC troopers, because those are. I think if they're the troopers I'm thinking about, they're the ones from that video game that came out.
I think you might be right. I think that's what people were figuring at the time. And yeah, because it took them like 5 blasts to get him to go down.
Yeah.
Like, he was stronger dude. Yeah.
It was like they got the armor that wasn't made out of PVC.
Right. They got the good stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're clone commandos.
Okay.
I think you're right. I think it is clone commandos. I think you're correct. And then at the very end, like the last scene, is Nala Se is taken to that place, which people were saying. I think even the Star Wars site says it's Mount Tantus, which is a reference to like basically a place where Palpatine like stored a bunch of artifacts and Sith shit, and also where there was a cloning facility. I'm actually reading Heir to the Empire right now, slowly but surely, and I think it's supposed to come up later in this book. I think they talk about Mount Tantus. So I'm interested to see what they do with that in Nala Se in season 2, how much they cover that, because obviously that's a nod toward potentially things that we're going to see with Mandalorian and all that other stuff, with Grogu and all that.
Yeah, because that's where they start cloning Jedi.
Yeah, that's not the Seabath guy or whatever his name is, right? Is that okay?
Yeah,
there you go.
Seabass,
because he is in Seabass. Anything else in season 1, or do you want to start talking season 2?
What did you guys think of? So did you guys kind of, for me, binge watching it, Sid, you start with a real like love-hate with her, and then towards the end you kind of like her. She's kind of a real piece of shit at the beginning, which is like, you guys have been charging you rent and docking fees and this, right. And it's like, you owe me all this, and then she like kind of pimps out Omega as that little chess game player. But then she kind of like comes full circle and comes kind of. I liked her more in this rewatch. Part of the crew a little bit towards the end. And apparently the writers like her more too, because she's all over the second trailer. She's there for sure.
Yeah, I think that it's a kind of a survivor technique from her. Like, she's dealing with scum of the earth all the time. So these dudes walk in and she's like, "What the fuck?" So I think she treats them like shit until she really gets to understand. Right.
She's not scared to hold the fact that they're wanted criminals over their head. You're like, I know you guys are fucking. Just so you know, I know you can't.
She says it early, and then she brings it up like way later. Like, remember, and they're like, "Fuck, you're still holding us to that."
Does a hunter say, "I don't trust you"? She's like, "Good, you're smart not to trust me." But you make me money, so I'm going to keep you around.
And one more thing I liked was where Echo seems to have a bit of a conscience, where they're running guns for her, right? They're going to get munitions, and he's like, we're not fucking. What did he say? We're not merchants of. Yeah, he's very much against the Republic, right? Isn't that their or the Separatists? Yeah, which is funny because they all become that. So right, yeah, it's kind of weird.
He's that, and he is the most like, don't hurt other clones kind of guy out there. Right. Like, he's the one who's like, we can't leave him here. Like, we got to go get him. Like, he is so, I think he's so caught up in that because of the fact that people came for him, that he's, back in the Clone Wars, that he was basically dead and they came for him and got him out of there, that I think he feels the obligation to always go after other clones.
I think the writers did him better justice than we complained about too watching it the second stretch.
We were always like, he gets no lines.
But it's not true, because you know what it is? A lot of times his lines were when he had the helmet on, because I kept thinking that was Hunter. And then I realized he actually spoke up quite a bit. When I do have to say, the funniest fucking line in the show, and I had to write it down, was during the last episode, where what's the little robot that we fucking love?
Hazy.
Yeah. Hazy. And then I forgot that they pulled him up on the boat in the end. So hopefully we get that droid in the next season.
I did too. When he drifts away like fucking Jack and Titanic, I thought, oh yeah, we lose him, right? Yep. And then fucking Crosshair pulls him all the way up.
Real quick, before they publish season 2, I'm gonna get a Todo versus AZ fucking death battle. I want to see it.
Todo.
Yeah.
Cad Bane's droid.
Todo is.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
AZ's gonna kick the shit out of Todo.
Chopper can referee.
I love that droid. That's the droid that back in the episode.
Saved fives.
Right. Yeah. It was like the whole arc, and he fucking used him like a little motor scooter, and it was on Camino, right? Yeah,
AZ is a hero. Mm-hmm. AZ is the unsung hero of the season.
And there was a lot, like watching this again, I was like, wow, he's in a lot more episodes than I remembered him being in, because I remember liking him, but I was like, okay, I know we see him in the first one and the last, but I didn't remember there was a stretch where we see him quite a bit through the middle. But you know how he's like real fucking, like he's got to fill you in on what's going on. You know, he's real practical or whatever. But when Crosshair gets knocked out and the doors split between them and they're fucking like the water's flooding in and he wakes up Omega and then they're trying to get Crosshair.
Yeah.
And he like goes over to him. He's like,
moments
greetings, C27995. You survived an aerial bombardment, but are moments away from drowning. I was like, who wants to be woken up to that?
Yeah, Crosshair like waves him away.
He's like, I don't even know where the fuck I am, dude. You're telling me I'm about to die? Oh, I laughed so hard yesterday when I was watching it.
AZ is a great character.
And then before we move on, we got one more highlight. We get to see Chopper fucking fry another droid.
When he finally murdered that droid, I was like, there it is.
Yeah, he gets two troopers as well, but yeah, he absolutely fries that droid.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not. Chopper's not waiting in line for nobody.
He doesn't even fucking like. Excuse me, sir. He just wants.
That was probably the beginning. That might have been his first kill. You know, we might have seen that, and then because obviously in Rebels, it's
he tasted blood.
It's too many to count. Yeah,
it's the first time he tasted hydraulic fluid.
Yeah,
Can't get enough of it. Yeah.
Fucking dreams about it.
Any other thoughts on season 1, Dave?
I think just overall, you know, having that season come out, not knowing really kind of what to expect because we only got like a bit of the clones, and I think it was just the Clone Wars, right, when they introduced them.
There was a Bad Batch episode.
Come out with this and say like this is a brand new extension of Clone Wars. It was just a fantastic season. You know, Disney kind of keeps the whole parent-child thing going. You know, with how they've continually introduced that between like Marvel and with Star Wars. But I think this adaptation where, you know, they're growing with Omega and they're kind of becoming like a family, I think it's going to be really good how that turns around in season 2 and stuff.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so season 2. Have you guys seen both the trailers, I assume?
Yeah.
I did my homework.
There we go. I think the first one came out back in like June maybe or something like that, and then they just released one like a week or two ago. But there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Like obviously Omega has grown up a bit. She's got the longer hair, a little new duds. She's got, you know, kind of new gear.
Still no armor though.
Yep.
No, like maybe some arm padding.
Yeah.
And they've all got, all the other clones have got, either they painted it for that mission that they were on the beach run mission, whatever they're doing, or they're all different armor. I don't know. It seemed like different colors, right? Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, you get downtime. You gotta dress up your stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Change it up a little bit.
The nerd commando. I forget his name.
Tech?
Tech still looks the same. Same helmet.
Goggles.
The nerd commando. You are not wrong. You get Commander Cody. That's one of the most those are the most interesting parts of the trailer, the second trailer, I think it was Cody's talking to Crosshair, and that's when he's talking about how there's more clones that are kind of questioning the order, and that's when Crosshair's like, then they're traitors like the Jedi.
Oh, I thought that was Rex. That wasn't Rex, that was Cody?
I think that's Cody.
Well, I know a lot of people were looking to see like a conclusion to that, you know, the story arc between Cody and Obi-Wan in Kenobi. Mm-hmm. But maybe they're actually we'll find out what happens to Commander Cody in this series. I'm hoping he turns like a 360 and figures out that what he was doing was wrong.
It's a 180 day, but that's okay. 360 is just right back where he started.
Right where he started from.
You had it right the first time. No, but Cody's an interesting one because he's one who's been somewhat untouched. Like you've seen you've seen Rex everywhere, you've seen all these clones everywhere, but Commander Cody was kind of lost in the shuffle. We never see him. So I think everybody's real excited to see him now. But it'll be interesting to see where he goes with that because he seemed like he responded to Crosshair's comment like he was all put off by it. So I don't know. And I mean, they didn't really show necessarily Crosshair like getting back with the boys, but I mean that's obviously one of the big storylines for season 2 is if and when he's going to come to his senses, if you want to call it that, and rejoin the crew, because you would assume it's going to happen at some point.
I don't know. I wonder. That's kind of what I wonder. So that was my prediction for season 2, right? I pinned it earlier, but I wonder if you see in the episode in season 1 where Wrecker goes full fucking goes after the entire team when he's getting his inhibitor chip taken out. Does Crosshair like just truly believe what he believes? Because he's like you guys said, he may or may not have had his inhibitor chip taken out, but if you have your inhibitor chip fucking activated, you don't even know that you're doing. Well, I guess you would know because Wrecker's like, I knew what I was doing. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't fight myself from doing it. Yep. So maybe Crosshair's just in a prolonged state of that, and finally, like, they'll get to him and get his chip out and be like, he'll be like, I was trying the entire time to do the right thing, but I couldn't, or something. I don't know. I feel like something like that's coming, where he comes back and joins the crew, or he doubles down and is like, you know what, fuck it, I'm pro Empire, I'm going with him. I think he's gonna get fucked over by the Empire, because he's nothing but a number to the Empire. He's just a tool, a means to an end, and eventually something's going to happen where he's left behind one too many times. But man, he just loves to suck that corporate dick, don't he? He's like, I'm never going to fucking turn. He's going for the promotion 9 times out of 10, and he's always like fucking turning his back on the fucking Union.
Not much of a redemption for him though if he ends up joining them just because the Empire drops him, right?
Do you think maybe he kills one of the clones?
One of the Bad Batch?
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, I was thinking about that. Do they give us a weighty death? You know, I would seriously doubt it's going to be Omega. I would doubt it's going to be Hunter. So then you're looking at the other 3, most likely, don't you think? I don't know. I think they might be afraid to kill off Echo because of his long history with the Clone Wars and everything. So it might come down to, quote, the nerd clone or or Wrecker. I'm not sure which, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he does that. I mean, I think he took pause late in the season of episode 1 where he kind of realized, oh shit, they were like firing and I was still down here. Like, what a bunch of fucking pricks. So I think he understands that he can't totally trust the Empire. I think. Yeah. You know, he knows that.
Well, he even says it too. He's like, you take things, Hunter, that's your problem. You always take things too personally. Well, how do you fucking not take things personal? Like, this is my life, man. I'm trying to just survive out here. So.
Well, at Crosshair, the Empire, I don't know if you've ever seen the retirement package. It is pretty nice. So Crosshair's like, hold on. I'm not giving up my pension for you fools.
A good 401k match will make a man do fucking terrible things.
Do you know how many Twi'leks they say for me at the end of this?
Nice.
There you go. We're advanced aging here. I'm not going to get to enjoy this long, so I really want to get all the money I can.
Yeah, is the advanced aging, does it put them at a certain age and then it slows down, or are they good for like 30 years max?
I thought it was consistent, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if you know, Dave.
It's a good question.
Timeline stuff, because we see them in, the crew out in the fishing crew out in the desert for
and Rebels.
And they're quite old.
Well, let's consider this, because Rex apparently is now canon to be in episode 6.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Rex is the one with the beard on. Yeah.
Yeah, they said apparently Andor. They made that canon.
Yeah.
I read. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's true, they could potentially still be functional and working and fighting for quite a long time.
Where's Rex in Return of the Jedi? Episode 6, you talking?
It's kind of hard to remember, but there's this old guy with a beard, and he's very visible, kind of, because he sticks out from the rest of the group, but he's got a big gnarly beard. He's kind of got like a commando type stance with a gun, but they made him canon apparently that's Rex.
He's with the rebels when they're trying to get inside to destroy the shield generator on the moon, on Endor. He's with that crew, so with Han Solo and all them.
Oh, the Forest Moon Endor scene?
Yeah. Yes.
He's in the camo garb?
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go back, you'll see him. Jay's looking him up right now to show you a picture.
But that is a good question, and I love to hear your listeners' responses to what they feel the life of a clone is, how that aging process works.
Yeah, I think it just keeps running. I feel like that clock just keeps ticking. I don't think it's just to get you to 18 years old or whatever, so you can start being a trooper. I think it's consistent throughout. My understanding, anyway.
Yeah.
Could be their technology and healthcare is so good that it's not out of the question for them to live to 200 and 250 years old.
Possible. Nala Se would know the answer to that. Speaking of Nala Se, well, we talked about that a little bit, I guess. Just do we think we're going to see her showing up in the cloning facility and they're going to do anything with that? What were you going to say, Jay?
Clones age at normal speed. The growth acceleration is only during their infant child phase to mature them to around teenage, where they can begin combat training, and is done with the growth acceleration pods, not alteration of DNA to make them grow faster.
Okay, we got that solved, because right before that, for the last 10 minutes, Brian Hour and Rural Farm Boy have been screaming at their
they sure
devices.
have. Yep.
They've been Morse coding each other back and forth.
Brian had to fucking push pause on a Hallmark movie.
I probably have an email already.
Rocking in his chair. He's like, hold on a minute here.
The big question I want to ask is, what do you think they're going to do with Omega? Because they introduced essentially, Boba Fett's sister.
Yeah.
At a normal pace clone, because I think if they did her at a normal pace clone, that means they probably want to use her some way down the line with something. whether it's like new TV shows or whatever. But what do you think her purpose is?
Was that Boba leaving the facility? The little bratty group of kids that were going to go to another planet and
they were all Bobas.
But was no?
I know who you're
there?
talking about. I think at the time we looked into that and it was, I can't remember now. I know who you're talking about. He's asking Nala Say, like, where are we going?
Where are we going?
We're still going to be troopers,
yet?
right?
Yeah, he's a little fucking annoying prick.
I can't remember because he ends up, we see him in, is the Clone Wars where we see him as an adolescent, right?
Yes, and he's already got the crew.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that aligns or not. It might not be him, but of course they all look like Boba. So.
They all look alike.
But to your question, Dave, too, one of the things that kept coming up and people keep talking about is she force sensitive? That was the one that keeps coming up. I actually don't think she is, but I think a lot of people do.
I think she's just enhanced in a certain way where she's got
very high intuition.
Hunter's got the Hunter's got the tracking skills. Wrecker's got the strength. Tech's got the mind. Echo's he's just a reg, but she's got something where she can kind of like see some things before it happened, or she just plays off of like people's emotions. She's done it to Crosshair a few times.
She got the Mary Sue enhancements.
Well, she asked, she says to Crosshair at one point, I know what you're about to do, and I think at the time people maybe took it as like she had some sort of foresight, but really it was just that she knew he had a fucking inhibitor chip and what he was capable of doing because of that chip. I think that's what she was getting at.
I could see it going either way. I mean, if you look at the idea where maybe the Empire or Old Republic went to the clones and maybe secretly tried to get them to start experimenting with creating clones with a higher midichlorian count than maybe what was regularly putting out, so they could start making Force users.
Well, that was the next step, right? Yeah. And what makes her so important? She has to be more important than just because if she was no more important than the other four, because there's 5 of them, right? Why don't they just look for one of the other ones? But it's her they're after. There's something that they want from
Special
her.
about her, exactly.
Right, and they were like, take her fucking blood, just like Baby Yoda, right, Grogu, and kill her afterwards. So those two are very similar.
Think about her name too, sorry to quote the Old Testament, whatever it is, not exactly, but I am the Alpha, I am the Omega or something. Yeah. So like her name could represent like the end of what they're trying to achieve. Just throwing crazy Hail Marys out there, but just a thought off the top of my head.
Do you guys think Django knew before he died just how valuable his semen was?
He told women across the galaxy, just no one believed him.
How many Twi'lek you think just gulped that shit down and never knew what they were doing? She could have just saved it, spit it into a cup, taken it to Nala Say.
Matt's right now writing down the time. Oh, gotta delete this part.
He's just holding them. He holds his fucking concubines at gunpoint. You swallow that down. You're not getting a free meal off me.
You're not getting a freebie off me.
It's hard out there. It's hard out there in the streets for those Twi'leks.
Boba's, he's like, he's punching in like where the possible babies are in the galaxy. Like, he keeps tracking that.
You're my sister.
Folks. Yeah.
Oh man.
I think there's
him on Maury Povich would just be a disaster.
Oh wow. Do you think they're going to meet Boba? Do you think there'll be a Boba meetup in this next season? Because it seems like they have to. In order to progress her character at some point, they have to answer that part of the story, right?
No, they gave her a cool hat and that's it.
Well, she's got that bow still. No, I don't know. They might, but I mean, the thing that makes her more valuable, at least from what they talked about in season 1, than the Bad Batch, is that she is a pure, like copy. Not so the Bad Batch is not, and so it's only her and Boba. So that's why she's more valuable.
But what is it about that DNA strand? Why can't they just go grab someone else and be like, okay, you're our next pure copy?
What do you mean, grab someone else? Who?
Haven't you seen Multiplicity?
They can. No, I'm just saying you
like
can start. You can start with someone.
Shady.
It could be why they start with Jango Fett, right? They could just start with someone else and start making clones.
Oh, it's like because he was pure Aryan. Is why.
Okay.
He was an Aryan.
He was pretty far from pure
dream.
Aryan.
Yeah, right. Other end of the spectrum.
That's why she's white with blonde hair. Okay.
Yeah, blonde hair, brown eyes.
No, I mean, I don't know what it was that was so special about Jango. I see what you're saying, but I don't know what it was that was so special about him. But yeah, I mean, maybe they just didn't want to start that whole thing over. Like, you want us to do this again? Oh my god, it took us so long the first time. Sifo Dyas isn't around.
That's who it was. Sifo Dyas.
What about? Do you think Commander Cody is going to go after the Bad Batch, or do you think he's going to be a good guy in the end? And we got to wrap up soon because Dave's got to go in 5 minutes. So let's fire some heaters out of what we think is going to happen.
I think you're going to see Rafa and that other chick again this season.
Oh, the Martez gals are coming back.
Yeah, because I mean they introduced them. I don't think to use them only twice. Also, we saw Papa Palpatine in the trailer too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think maybe voiced by Ian.
It is
again. That's awesome. Got to keep
that
guy around as long as possible.
Fee Geneva, whatever her name is. At the beginning. You guys know who I'm talking about?
No.
The girl with the hair.
The gal who's saying like you're the Bad Batch, like how juicy. That's Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes' new
Wanda
character?
Sykes' voice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She.
So she must be at Sid's.
Yes, I'm
also
assuming.
a Jedi. Wookiee Jedi. I forget his name.
Gungi.
Wookiee. Yep. Dougie.
Gungi, not Dougie.
I think
Dougie would be hilarious.
Yeah,
hey, Dougie.
Dougie the Wookiee. And his wife, Dougie and his wife, Winky.
no, not Winky. No, it's Gungi from we saw in Clone Wars. He's
Yes.
one of the dudes that was out getting kyber crystals on that episode on Ilum.
Getting kyber crystal.
What about Cal Katniss?
Cal Kestis? You talking about Jedi Fallen Order or whatever? Jedi Survivor soon.
Because I know sometimes they don't bleed games into their actual medium, but I mean he's such a strong character that they could put him in.
I like that idea, especially because I mean he's technically animated in a video game. Now he would be in an animated series. It would be pretty easy to make that crossover. I don't know. That would be a fun cameo if they worked him in somehow.
I see if the character doesn't die, I'm assuming there's going to be one more game in a few more years, right? Get the trilogy out.
Well, they are doing a trilogy of it, yeah.
Yeah. So I assume we probably won't see any crossover until they finish that character's story. And then maybe they'll play around, but who knows?
It could be. The only reason why I could see them doing something is because I can't remember his timeline very well, Cal Kestis' timeline, but it could be between those two video games essentially. So they're giving us a taste of him. Sorry, leading into the next video game. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
Stuff that happened before
Synergy.
we catch up to him. Yeah. Fucking let's bring it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, I'd be interested in that. I was also trying to think if there were any other cameos we might see, any bounty hunters, etc. I mean, Bale shows up for like 2 seconds in the clip, so we're gonna see Bale.
See him. Yep.
Which means then you start going, are we going to see Ahsoka? Are we going to see, Maul? Didn't think about Maul. That could be interesting. Now that would be juicy. Will we see Rampart die? God, I hope so.
Probably not yet.
Crosshair, shoot that fucker right in the head.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I don't know how many seasons they're supposed to do a Bad Batch. That's the other thing. They didn't say they're wrapping up with season 2, did they?
No, they did not. Yeah.
So who knows how long?
Well, Rebels was 4, so I'm guessing they'll at least do 3 or 4. Because was Resistance 3?
Resistance was 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what they're going to do.
I think Resistance failed to some degree.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Oh, we'll be covering that show at some point, Jay. When we're low on stuff.
Yeah.
Will Echo lose his other arm and they'll fit him with shears and he'll become Echo Scissorhands?
I hope so.
Echo multi-tool. It's gonna fucking Jesus.
Sorry. I was trying to think if there's anything else. That's kind of it. I mean, Dave, I know you got to run here in a minute. Did you have any other parting shots for season 2 that you're looking for? Anybody you would like to see show up other than that?
My prediction is one of the clones is going to die. I think, and maybe that might be the crux that brings Crosshair back, whether Crosshair does it or one of the other clones does it. I, of course, continuing want to see the crumbling of the rebellion, of the Old Republic and the forming of the Empire. That's always been like the biggest interest to me, is like how they transitioned from what we had versus what we currently have over the universe. I think I'm going to throw out a fun cameo, Han Solo.
Whoa.
Okay.
That would be surprising. We've never seen him animated.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay. No, they did go to Corellia on one of the episodes, so.
They did, yeah. I think that was the Martez episode.
Yep.
And the Martez sisters make sense to a degree because it sounds like they're working with the forming rebellion. So I could see them showing up again.
Yeah, because they're the ones that at the end of the episode, it's Rex that they talk to, right? The hidden hologram that you just get to sleeve, and then
that's how Rex knows that the clones are out there.
Yep. And then he goes and finds them at Sid's bar the next episode.
I think it would be really crazy, as a last thought, if they keep the Bad Batch and somehow work them into season 2 of Andor.
Season 2 of Andor. God, could you? So that's where it gets real. It's always interesting to see.
That was tricky because you have to like balance this. Like they appeared here to go here, and then there's this happening and that happening. But I really like it when they take these characters that they've introduced and they put them into live action. And obviously, these are like grizzled commandos that you'd like to see have some part in some story somewhere. But you either put them somewhere where it's currently present, or they do it in the future with, like, say, Ahsoka series or something.
You want more Timor on TV?
If they make John Cena Wrecker, I quit Star Wars. I'm telling you.
Do you think every time they go to do that transition from animation to live action, like the powers that be just sit there and wince, waiting to see the reaction from people? Because people are always like, "That Cad Bane looks weird," or "This looks wrong," or "Look at it, look at the
you can't do anything right to the fans, man.
Look how much people bitched about Ahsoka's head tail things. They're too short. They need to be longer or some shit.
Right. Yeah, it's just there's always those fucking gripes. But I don't know. That would be interesting. But I do like your theory about one of the clones dying and that being the trigger that Crosshair's like, what the fuck am I doing here? And like joins back up at the posse. I could see that. Then it would probably be Wrecker. Well, maybe not. We'll see.
Oh, Wrecker and Omega are too close. I think it's a hard bond to break. Those two are
That's
like
true.
besties. So.
I'm just wondering who would be the most emotional impact on Crosshair. It'd probably be Hunter, but there's no way they're going to kill Hunter.
Right, yeah, I don't see that happening.
No. Hunter holds that squad together. I think he's too important.
Yeah. You can't kill Rambo.
Dave, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it. And yeah, we'll have you back on soon. We'll let you off the hook this time. We're not going to make you do the giveaway item. Future giveaways, we'll work with you to get something done.
Yeah, for sure. And I always appreciate you guys having me. And it's always nice seeing, Droid Bay or Facto Bay on the podcast, I should say. Cool. I hope you're keeping well. And it's good seeing you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Bye, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you coming on. Hope you nailed your interview.
Yeah.
Good luck, sir. I bet he really wants that job hard,
Well, it's someone that he's like kind of knows and he's being pursued, so it's not like it's more of a this guy's trying to get the two of them together. So
I'll give you this. If you go into an interview and you're laid back and you got the attitude of nothing to lose,
right?
Like going into an interview when you have a good job is the fucking least stress. Like, yeah, fuck, I'll go in an interview, and you want to hear my
there's no pressure, right? Like, I need this job to survive.
Yeah, I don't need this fucking job. I'm gonna come in here and swing my dick around.
It's like Peter or whatever his name is in Office Space. It's just a who gives a fuck attitude, That's or the Costanza with.
Yeah, it's like I see you've been missing a lot of work lately. Well, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
A
fascinating.
Could add an A for Dave.
So, quick note too. We mentioned earlier, we teased earlier that we're going to do a giveaway for this season. So the way I was looking at it was there's I think is it called the incinerator rifle that Mandalorian has in season 1 at least as part of season 2. It literally
sounds right to me.
So there's a Nerf version of that which I was going to do for our next giveaway. But what we're going to do is because of the fact that Bad Batch runs over and Mandalorian is going to come in and run. There's going to be overlap. Which I find is interesting because they've never done that before. So that's because they, at one point we thought, well, then maybe they're going to split the season in 2 or something like that. Put the Mandalorian in between. But you saw that episode listing. They put dates on them and everything and titles. And those are all coming out at the same time Mandalorian's coming out. So.
Opens 2 episodes, mid-season 2 episodes, and it ends with 2 episodes, Bad Batch season 2. Yeah.
It's the tuning fork rifle, right?
Yes. Yes, correct.
It's called an Ambin sniper rifle.
There you go.
Ambin. AMBAM.
That will be the big prize. So because of the fact that they're overlapping, we're going to run this giveaway through the 2 seasons.
Okay.
So you have a long time. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh.
I didn't say a word.
Okay.
You'll hear it in the edit.
All right. Yeah, I will. I'm going to circle back with you in a few days.
I'll be diligently waiting. I'm not going to sleep until I hear from you.
I'll just email Cole Laybourne and we'll see what happens.
Who are you speaking of, sir?
So same deal as last season. If you answer our question of the week, you get an entry. Maul Bag, you get an entry. And reviews, you get 3 entries. So please interact with the show and you can earn a chance to win. I mean, I think 2 of the people that won last time only had 1 or 2 entries. So that's enough. That's enough to win.
It is.
I'm coming hard for this. I'm putting myself in this contest. You guys can't fucking keep me out. I'm a guest host.
You feel like you're eligible now? Do you?
I feel eligible.
Okay.
The world's most eligible podcaster.
Okay.
That's what they call me on the streets.
Just don't be upset when we go to do the actual call out numbers and I go, pick another one.
Yeah. I know that was me. I'm gonna call for a recount. Get myself banned off Twitter.
Or no matter what. Yeah, there you go. Or no matter what happens, I'll say Cole Laybourne won, and then you're gonna finally have to be like, that is me.
All right, it was me the whole time. Yeah. All right, give me the fucking ambin. Send it.
Or we'll have to send it to Cole Laybourne, but I'll see him out in his front yard playing with it like a week later.
You drive by in your car, he's going, pew pew.
What? I bought this one.
Jay breaks in and compares the serial numbers. I knew it was his. Got this for my son for Christmas.
Okay, let's go to the Maul Bag.
I want to.
Let's hear it.
Hello there.
You've got mail.
Kenobi!
Email number 1. You're not going to believe who it's from.
I'm shocked.
Mike Laybourne. After the original trilogy burger stand, we were talking about the other week. The original trilogy burger stand. I don't remember that one.
Something on Twitter?
God, we have terrible memories.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that now. What's the best, worst Star Wars themed business you've ever seen? Disney doesn't count.
Well, I can tell you one that was very nice and thriving was you guys' t-shirt store. But
yes, thank you.
Buy local. Fuck you, Disney and your corporate bullshit.
I don't know if I've ever seen like a store that kind of tries to crib on the name, cutesy little name relative to Star Wars. I don't know if I've seen anything like that.
Well, it's because it's tricky because of all the goddamn copyrights. Like it's hard to do that, But the only thing I could think of was when you see just random Star Wars products that I've seen before. Like I've even tried to hunt down just the most ridiculous shit in the world for our giveaways.
Yeah.
But the one that I think we brought up on the show before, there is a tape dispenser, and it's C-3PO leaning back, and the tape is coming from his fucking
coming out of his dick.
Yes, that is probably the greatest thing I've ever seen created. So I need to find stuff like that. I actually looked that up to see if you could buy it, and it was $1 gazillion. Like somebody was selling it on eBay or something. Yeah. It was fucking $1 million. But I can't think of a business just because they're always so limited. You'll get hunted down by the powers that be.
Well, whoever's making the sabers, the fucking the actual replica sabers.
That's true,
Dave. I don't know if that's Disney sponsored or not, but they make some fucking $300. You get 2 sabers. They're really fucking nice. They do a lot of stuff, change colors. Well,
there's that bar in California. Is that the Cantina or what's it called? That's where Kevin Smith podcasts out of or used to.
Oh, I didn't know about that place.
Yeah, it looks like the Cantina. They've got it all decorated like it. I don't know if that's I don't know if they paid a licensing fee or what, but.
Well, they must, or there's got to be some sort of weird handshake agreement there. But I think that's a good one though, the saber makers, because there's a lot of companies that do that. There's we used one for the one that Mike Laybourne actually won.
Yeah.
And there's one real close to me called Saber Forge that makes good shit too. So yeah, that's got to be the best businesses is those things.
I feel like a Tauntaun ride would be a good business if you were in the store, or a blurg ride. You know what I mean? Like an excursion off of a cruise ship. You come in, and they're like,
it's kind of
included with your ticket. You get a little blurg excursion. Yeah. It's like driving through the mountains on a 4-wheeler, but you're on a blurg. Fucking take the kids. Ride double on this one.
How do you make that work now?
What's that?
What is the blurg? What serves as the blurg?
Like the 4-wheeler's got a costume on?
No, the blurg is it's like, when you get off of a cruise ship and they take you on a 4-wheeler ride or something, you pay $40 a person to go fucking drive through the mountains with a tour guide.
Yeah.
You just do that, but you replace the 4-wheeler with a blurg or a Tauntaun.
I see. I've never been on a cruise, so I don't know. I'm not fancy.
I never have either, but I've heard of them. I'm aware that
I've heard of them.
I'm aware that they do exist, and I'm sure you are as well.
I am, but I did not know that you got this extra little 4-wheeler excursion.
You are familiar with the concept of excursions. Right?
I do know what an excursion is, and I do know what a 4-wheeler is.
You don't have to live these things in order to understand them, Matthew.
Sometimes if you haven't done it yourself.
For, man.
I have no clue what you're talking about. I've never set foot on a cruise ship.
Nor will I, sir.
Therefore, I've never looked into excursions for cruise ships.
I tell you who's not getting my money. Disney. That's who. Buy local.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
Hey, real quick, because we're talking about that, did we ever find out if there was any truth to the Galactic Hotel experience thing in Disney? Is that closing?
There's been all sorts of rumors. I'm sure Mike Zero's got videos up, but I think that it's still in action. They're still doing it, but it may be an item that Iger is going to come in and be like, yeah, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know because I think the popularity and the interest in the purchasing of tickets is waning.
Yeah.
I bet you if they tied a Blurg excursion to it, they'd fucking double their money.
That's right there. That's the fix.
Hey, Bob.
Try to steal my idea.
Bob, you ever heard about the excursions they do with cruise lines? Look into it.
Hey, Bob, try to steal my idea and I'm going to sue your ass. Shut down.
As my father would say, Google it.
Google it.
Shut down our t-shirt store. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, why don't you spend your time doing something more important?
Yeah. Save your failing hotel, you piece of shit.
Email number 2, Brian Hour. Hello, Jay. Just shout you out right there. Want to wish you a wonderful day.
Oh, thank you.
Droid-phobic person on the Skype lines. Good day to you as well, sir. CJ, I can give others grief as well. Which, if any, Star Wars games do you like replaying the most? I'm currently going back through Fallen Jedi again, and always have Jedi Knight 2 and TIE Fighter ready to play. Then he says, I wanted to wish you both the merriest of Christmases, and I hope both of you get to unwrap a Darksaber, but not hashtag Trader Cole. He did not know you were going to be on the show.
Hey.
Yeah, here I am, Brian.
For him, I hope he gets the entire novel collection that he has to put together in timeline order. Oh, fucking shots over the bow there.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you know what, Brian? How quickly you turn, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what happened?
It's all right. I deserve it.
You don't.
I don't know if I've ever replayed any Star Wars games. I'm trying to think. The last one, there was Shadows of the Empire on the 64?
Oh, wow.
Was an awesome game.
Yeah,
that might be there. I played a little bit of Battlefront.
Battlefront's good.
Yeah, and then what's the newer one? Was there a version of the Battlefront?
Well, they have 2 versions of the newer ones. They have a Battlefront and Battlefront 2, the newer ones. I actually never really played the older one, but the newer ones are really good. And the second one had a pretty cool, story arc.
I think it was the second one I played a little bit. But
what's the RPG online, like World of Warcraft one? Is that Battlefront? That's not Battlefront.
I think you're thinking of Knights of the Old Republic. Isn't that one?
Yep, KO.
Yes.
OR, whatever the fuck the thing is.
KOTOR.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've never played either of those.
That's actually pretty fun. I think I leveled up like a character level 20. I paid for a month or so of it. It's fun. It's like World of Warcraft, but...
Oh, you're talking about Galaxies.
Nope. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah?
He's talking.
That was just an RPG that you play on a system.
Nope, it was an MMORPG. You played on a computer. I played it on a computer. It's like World of Warcraft, same exact concept. You play with thousands of people online.
But you didn't have to have a membership and pay and stuff, did you? I know Galaxies was. There was a version of it they brought out where you actually paid $20 a month.
$14 a month, and you play online for the basic package. I believe that's how it went.
Well, Jedi Fallen Order I did play a second time. It's a really good game. Like, it's a fantastic game. So I'm looking forward to Survivor, the new version that comes out, I think, in March. So it's coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think I did do Battlefront 2 a second time. I did the campaign twice because it was fun. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know TIE Fighter. I don't know that game. Anyway, email number 3. He's fucking back. Mike Laybourne. 6 years ago, Rogue One was released and proved that Star Wars didn't need space wizards to be awesome. What were your opinions at the time, and are those opinions still the same? Disclaimer, yes, the Vader scene was amazing, but it was only a small part of a great movie. React.
I mean, I've voiced this a million times. I was excited because it was a Star Wars film, but I wanted my space wizards, so it felt like something was lacking. But going back and watching it recently before Andor started, I appreciated the film much more. And after Andor, now I'm all in on whatever they do in this world, wizards or not.
We did not talk about this necessarily earlier, Cole, but what was your overall take on Andor? Did you like Andor? Did you get through it all?
I've got through it all. I didn't realize it was over until DJ told me. I was like, that was the last episode? He's like, yeah, that's it. Like, shit. First 2-3 episodes, slow build, right? Yeah. But fucking worth it. Woo! Yeah. Was that a good series? Yeah. Really good. I love.
Brought you back from Boba Fett?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah?
Fucking healed those wounds.
Okay, good.
It's just great. Fucking, what's his face's acting was just superb.
Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson just fucking sold it when he's in the fucking elevator shaft, fucking talking shit to the redheaded fuck, whatever his name is. A lot of the twists and turns, a lot of the what do you call that?
Cinematography?
Tension is building. Tension is building moments.
Yeah.
Type of shit. What's with the girl having she had a problem with heights while she's looking over the bridge and she's freezing. Like, hey, bitch, we're waiting on you. Like she's.
Yes, Vel. She's like, she's pausing. We were joking about it being a height thing. I don't think it was a height thing. It definitely looked like it was a height thing for a second.
I feel like she had agoraphobia there. She was just like, oh.
Well, we could figure out, and then we came to the conclusion that it was like that was one of the big decision turning points. Like once we come down this wall, it's
going back.
Yeah, so it was
by far my favorite part of the entire fucking series was watching them break out of that prison. Like that part where like Cassian had to just rally the fucking people and then they get to the fucking top and the guy's like, I can't swim. Well, go fuck yourself, man. See you later. I'm off the edge. Oh man, poor fuck.
We'll help you. Just jump.
But it's like, man, just to see those guys like compartmentalized and the fucking Empire, you knew they were motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like imagine like you did 6 years and you're like, I'm out.
That'd
and then
be like one of the sickest things they've done.
Now you're in the green unit.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Just gonna move you a floor over.
Yeah.
Now, the big question of the day is, I don't know if you caught up on the show, but do you think Luthen is a Jedi?
Luthen, the art dealer guy?
Yeah.
No. Fuck
no.
No. He's not a Jedi.
Okay.
I don't think so. Liam Neeson could never pull it off.
He was Qui-Gon Jinn, but okay.
He's too busy. What is it? Ice Road Trucker.
Yeah,
Too busy to that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think he was either. Jay was pushing that theory, and a lot of people had similar thoughts as Jay.
Yeah,
they were like pointing to different things, like as far as evidence goes during the story that led to him being a Jedi, or at least involved with the Jedi. But yeah, I was like, I don't think he's got the Force working.
Oh, there was some spooky, that fucking beating of the drum thing, beating of the thing to spook off the syndicate guys that were fucking coming. They're all beating on their fucking, making the noise.
It was like an alert system. Like everybody fucking thing. And I love that. Cool. And Marva goes, it's when it stops. That's like basically when you worry. Like, oh,
she was a little badass.
Yeah,
Marva was cool. And then her little speech at the end.
Yeah.
And the brick ceremony. And then the guy fucking just cracks a motherfucker with an ash brick. I was like, oh damn.
Marva to your face.
Yeah, exactly. Marva's gonna kick some ass right now.
Yep.
I was hoping that like as he hit him, it would like explode, and she just would like, now I am a part of everything. It's just like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Here I go.
Breathe me in, bitch. Yeah.
I'm in your lungs now, motherfucker.
Yeah, it was so fucking good. I'm sure in the end having it just be 2 seasons is going to be great, but God, the fact that this thing could have been, the original plan was 5 seasons. That would have been fun.
Oh, and the fucking desperation for him at the end where he's like, bring me in or kill me. And I was like, at first I was like, bring him in. What are you going to turn him in? No. And then I'm like, oh, wait, bring me in. Like, bring me into the
Republic.
Yeah. So it took me I had a Cole moment where I had to figure out what he was talking about.
Okay.
Like, bring him in.
He's like, hold on, let me turn the captions on again. No, it's still the same. I don't...
Puts him in handcuffs, takes him to the fucking, aren't you a bad guy too? Like, drops him off like you do an abandoned baby at the fire station.
I don't think you're supposed to take him to the fire station. I think it's the hospital.
Whatever.
I think you're right. They used to back in the day, right?
You're supposed to. There's like, if you don't want your kid, you just drop him off in front of the fire department. The fire department.
Like there's a bin. You just toss him in the bin.
I think you just kind of knock on the door and then ding dong ditch.
Didn't we? God, was that an old TLPS? For listeners who don't know what the hell it is, an old podcast I used to do. I swear there was an episode later on where they it looked like one of those like drop off night bank things.
Oh yeah.
And you would open it up and you could put a baby in there. It was heated and like a sensor would go off once they knew a baby got put in there, and they would go out and get it out. But it was so that you could do it without being caught, or they would know who you were.
Yeah, they used to use those all the time.
Maybe it was in Canada. There was a couple cities that were starting to pop up these. Yeah.
They stopped using them because the sensor malfunctioned and it microwaved a baby to death.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that don't they just have like a Ring doorbell thing on it, so it just picks you up. some creepy guy coming in.
We'll turn it full circle. Turn the baby into a brick.
Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
Safe space.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Rogue One and if we were cool with it, shows without space wizards and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I always was looking for that story. There's 2 things they're giving me with Rogue One and Andor, and that is I like the time period where the Empire's like at its power, where we have to see all these people trying to organize against it. I like that time frame. And 2, I I love the Jedi stuff and the lightsaber stuff, but I like having a story that's not involving that. So that's why it was perfect.
That was that also sparks another thing. Not to go back to Andor, but you get to see the boardroom of the ISB.
Yeah,
that was great about Andor too, and see the fucking politics because all those motherfuckers are just corporate fucking cocksuckers.
Everything was about get your report in.
Yeah,
you need your report.
Major point gas.
Whew, you could tell some of them could handle the pressure, some of them couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was good. The ISB, the deep look, like speaking of like them, the other side of the rebellion, right? They're the counter terrorism unit of the Empire, basically. So that was cool to see as well.
Last question for you on Andor, and that is, what did you think of Cyril, and will he murder his mother?
A lot of cereal eating. Lots of Stay Puft marshmallow consumption, I guess. Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna one day you're gonna find him killing his mother and wearing her fucking corpse as a hat.
We have like a Cyril death watch. Like we're just waiting for it to happen every week.
Yeah. He really, the poor guy can't do anything to please that woman.
No.
She's, a mite overbearing, if you will. she's got a touch of
even when the phone call comes in, though, the who's on first phone call, and she's in the hallway, just ridicules him about goes back to bed.
The spotty reception phone call from his fucking
right, sir,
bolsterous lieutenant. That guy, you can tell he's fucking just wanting a promotion. That's like every traffic cop that's ever pulled anyone over. he's like embodies that guy.
I knew you'd like that guy.
It helps with the mom that she's got like Marge Simpson's sister's voices. It's like,
yeah,
right.
Just that dead voice. I've been smoking cigarettes my whole life. We got one. Got one late Maul bag. Dear neighbor,
we did.
I might have tipped somebody off. Dear neighbor Cole, I'm very happy that the parole board got my letters and released you from prison in time for Christmas. I told them you were innocent. Kind regards, Mike Laybourne. He did shoot out the wasn't he the hashtag free Cole or whatever it was? I think he was the one who.
Oh God, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. He misses you. He needs you as an adversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? The Rolling Stones needed the Beatles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike Laybourne needs you.
Someone needs Katie Couric.
Mike Laybourne, he can't survive unless once a week he hears someone call him a piece of shit.
I can be Cyril's mom. He can be Cyril. We'll get this thing going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We will be back 2 weeks, right, when we are covering the Bad Batch.
Yep.
So New Year. So this is the last show of the year. Hope you have a happy holiday, Festivus, Christmas, whatever it is you do. And if you don't do anything, well, I hope that day's happy too.
Boxing Day, whatever.
Yes. Until next time.
Are we doing this in order again, or
Let's go back.
To me, never tell us the odds.
Podcasts are built on hope.
We have spoken.